A frantic rescue at a playground in Lakewood. Two young adults pinned after the truck lost control and crashed.
It's amazing how many people Robert Husak has touched and the lives that are impacted and will be impacted from this young man, and from his family willingly donating his body and extending life for others, and benefiting, and they're benefiting from his young life. I thank you for the time that I spent with the Morrison family, and my heart goes out to you, and I feel so badly for you. And may God bless all of you.
I'm here today to talk about Robert Husak. Robert was a kind, gentle, sensitive, and above all, he was a good friend. When he first came to our school as a freshman, I remember his teacher from Bear Creek K-8 asking that he, Jenna Manning, and Matt McCord be put together in as many classes as possible. Those three had been friends since early elementary school, throughout their school years and after. He was a good friend, he was loyal, which is sometimes not typical in today's world. When I went to the hospital to visit Robert last week, I was amazed at the number of friends he had developed even after high school that were holding vigil at the hospital waiting room, hoping and praying for his recovery. Matt, I know, has struggled with this, and I know that Robert is there with him in spirit. Robert came to visit me a few days prior to the accident, as he often did. I remember the last time that he came to visit me, looking at him sitting in my office thinking, my, what a handsome young man he has grown up to be, and how proud his parents must be. Last year when he graduated, Robert gave me a thank you card for all the help that I had given him throughout his high school career. But I've got to say, Robert, it is you that I should be thanking for having been able to get to know you and your gentle spirit. And as you go on with your life, I know that your spirit will live on through the many that will be recipients of the organs that you will donate.
Memories of Robert Husak. I remember when Robert came, I had him for 4 years. Had the opportunity to work with Robert for 4 years and be his teacher, his primary provider. And I just remember Robert coming to Bear Creek. He was this shy, timid little boy, and he matured into this confident young man. And prime example is he attended Warren Tech his junior and senior years. He wouldn't even look or talk to a young girl when he was a freshman or sophomore. And then he went on this little retreat down in, I think, the Broadmoor. And he was wearing a tie and nice. He looked like $1 million. And we were laughing because it was like Robert and the girls. And he had a harem of girls. And so he went from this shy, timid, young little boy to this, confident young man. And I just seen a lot of growth in 4 years at Bear Creek. When I had him for math, I used to bribe them, and if they worked really hard and did well on their tests, then I'd give them candy. He loved candy, and he would come in every day. He'd even stop in before my class and say, "Coach Hyatt, did you bring candy for me?" And yes, I would. And and it's amazing what candy did for that young man. He worked so hard just to get some candy. Reese's. I had these big Reese's. I'll never forget these big Reese's Buttercups. I don't understand how a young man at the 19 years of age can be gone. My favorite scripture is Proverbs 3:5, which says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, but acknowledge him in all your ways and he will make your path straight." And basically what it's saying is we're not going to comprehend or understand everything that happens in our lives, and we need to trust in the Lord that there's a purpose for this. And the only way I can put any purpose would be that Robert's is going to touch many, many lives. There's someone sitting right now, there's somebody sitting there dying on their deathbed, who may need a heart, they may need a liver, they may need a kidney, or whatever, or someone who's going to get their sight or whatever. I don't know, but I do trust that something out of this is going to be positive, and he's going to affect many, many lives, maybe thousands of lives. As a parent, I can't even comprehend losing a child. I do know this, that we have to just know that there's a purpose for this, and kind of just I don't know. I'm going to miss Robert. I'm going to miss him tremendously, and just keep his memories in my heart, and all the great memories I have of Robert. He was a great kid. He was a very gentle, had a great sense of humor, very sincere, and I'm going to miss him, and I just pray for him and his family.
I've only known Robert for about 3 or 4 years now. He was a good friend. Sad to see that he lost his life so early. He had his whole life ahead of him. Like, he was a brother to everybody, friend, whatever you could say. Like, there was this time where we were at a party and we were looking for one of his cats. So everybody's standing around, looking around. You see Robert in the distance chasing his cat down the street. Know that he'll live in everybody's heart forever.
I knew Robert for a long time. We've been great friends since about 3rd grade. Me and him and Jenna Manning, we grew up together. We stood by each other, and I always stood by him. And I protected him from anybody who wanted to pick a fight with him or pick on him. I'd stand up for him, and so would she. Anybody in school who called him names or wanted to hit him, and I told them if they do, I would knock the living snot out of them to next week. Knock them so hard they'd be a new race. We just grew up together and just I knew him so well, and he knew me so much, and when it happened, I was just hanging out with him. It happened so fast, and we knew each other so well, and we grew up together. And like, one of the things that he always said that made me laugh, and just because I complained to him how much George Bush pissed me off when he was president, and just pissed me off. I talked about it all the time, and then so Robert eventually started saying, George Bush just sucked, and he just started saying George Bush all the time to everything. So one day I failed the test, and I was like, it's because that teacher's fault. The teacher pissed me off. That test was stupid. And Robert just says it's George Bush's fault. Or I'd ask him how he's doing, and he'd be like, George Bush. And man, I can't even say any of the stories I did of things we've done just because we've done so much. I mean, he's probably one of the smartest kids I've ever met, ever even knew. He knew math like at a college level, but he never went that far just because he never cared. But he knew he's a lot smarter than a lot of kids I know. I plan on taking this guy to jail for this. This wasn't right. This shouldn't have happened. He was, he's 19. He has his whole life ahead of him. This shouldn't have happened. And Kelly and Tracy, Kenny and Andrew, and Harley and Tyler and Zach. You guys are a little too young to understand right now, but Robert was a great brother to you guys. He was a really great guy. Everybody else, I'm here. I'm here for you. I'm here for you guys. Especially you, you, Kelly, Tracy, Andrew, and Kenny. I'm here for you guys. If you need to talk, I'll talk. And, you're not going through this alone. Again, I was right beside him, and he was like a brother, man. I loved him. So I'm going to keep thinking about him. He's going to be with all of us. All of us who are close to him, he's going to be with all of us. And we're going to somehow prank us in a way. And he was an amazing kid, and probably one of the best guys I've ever known. This is an instrumental for Robert.
place. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here. Robert was considered his very best friend. Since the day one that I met Robert, he was the most polite child I had ever come across. And I knew right then and there my son had a very pure and sensitive friend at heart. And I don't think you can find people like that in this world. And that's why he's not here today. He is very pure.
Me, Zach, and everybody were at the table and started just pouring the root beers and trying to chug it, and we finished chugging it in 5 minutes. Next period, we had the worst stomach ache. So that was a good time.